everybody, Jamie here from Starter Riot. Welcome back to Thank Punk, it's Friday! Here's your alternative music news for this week. The big story is Paramore are back. Woo! Party! Alright! Their new song is called Hard Times. It'll be off their 5th album called After Laughter, due out on May the 12th. This song has, let's say, split opinions. Accusations of Paramore selling out have been flying around since the track dropped this week, mostly due to the song's poppy 80s new wave sound. Influences like the 1975 and Carly Rae Jepsen have been mentioned, but let's be honest, they're all drawing from the same pool of 80s bands like INXS, Duran Duran, Blondie, The Cure, Tears for Fears, The Human League, Aztec Camera, Culture Club. The list goes on and on, really. To be fair, I can kind of understand where fans have been coming from with this criticism. Paramore have never exactly been the heaviest band, but they have always had riffs right up to the self-titled album. But since Josh Farrell left with his brother Zach, who's since rejoined the band has been creeping more towards a mainstream sound. 2014's self-titled album was criticised for being quite poppy. You can also look at bands from the same era like Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy who've definitely been making that move to the mainstream. They've also attracted a similar division amongst fans. But I would argue the self-titled Paramore album is way better than anything Fall Out Boy have done since they've reformed. Also better than anything Panic at the Disco have done since their first album. And that album is just as strong, if not stronger than any of the other Paramore albums. I mean, we all know Riot is the best album, but I think you could put Brand New Eyes or All We Know Is Falling up against self-titled and it'd still hold up. Also, Still Into You is one of the best pop songs ever written, so I just don't know how you can criticize that song. Also, as the band that broke the Nashville curse, Paramore's Riot was the first album in over 20 years to go platinum by a band from Nashville. Sold over 1 million copies in the US. I don't think Paramore really need any help selling records. Personally, I think the song's great. It's catchy, it's fun, the video is incredible, really vibrant, bright colours. It all feels very Paramore. I really can't say that the band have changed that much. Yes, their sound has evolved. Yes, they've moved on from the emo kind of pop punk sound that they came out with. That's what happens to bands. I personally would rather a band experiment and explore a new sound than release just the blandest record ever, just like every other bloody rock band does nowadays. Blondie were really slated for selling out when they released Heart of Glass, and I don't really think anyone's looking back on that period in history and thinking, yeah, Blondie really sold out. They're still remembered as one of the most influential punk bands of all time. The fact that they released a really great pop song doesn't tarnish that legacy. Also, if Punk Club wants to kick out Hayley Williams for writing a mainstream song, but will give a free pass to Johnny Rotten who supports Donald Trump and Nigel Farage while doing butter adverts, I think you really need to take a good look at yourself, to be honest. Not only is that album out very soon, as in next month, as in a few weeks away, but they'll also be doing a headline tour in June in the UK. Cannot wait for this. Speaking of Punk Club, Riot Fest released their lineup this week. For the last, I'd say, 5 years, Riot Fest has hands down had the best lineup of any festival anywhere in the world. Last year, they melted a lot of icy punks' hearts by doing the impossible and reforming the original Misfits lineup. And this year, they've answered some emo prayers and delivered a Jawbreaker reunion. Now, if you haven't heard of Jawbreaker before, you probably don't read any interviews with your favorite bands. Pretty much every emo band from the late 90s and early noughties was very influenced by Jawbreaker directly. People like Jesse Lacey have said that Jawbreaker are their favorite band. They broke up in 1996 after 4 studio albums. They even supported Nirvana on their In Utero tour. Now they're reuniting for the first time in 21 years. A lot of people have been freaking out about this. It's a pretty big deal. The other headliners are Queens of the Stone Age and 9 Inch Nails. Other bands playing include Paramore, Taking Back Sunday, A Day to Remember, Built to Spill, Profit to Rage, The Hotelier, loads and loads more bands. The lineup is insanely stacked as it is every year. This is just the first wave of announcements as well. It does cost money to get over there if you're not from the US, but the past 2 years have been the best 2 weekends of my life, so if that's not a high enough recommendation, I don't know what is. Rise Against have released a new song, The Violence. It's off their upcoming 8th album, Wolves, which will be out on June the 9th. It's been a long time since I've listened to Rise Against, but They haven't changed. Balance and Composure have a new song, Run From Me. It's off their Record Store Day release, which is a 7-inch entitled Slow Heart. Musically, this song falls somewhere between The Things We Think We're Missing and Like We Made. It's kind of like Tiny Raindrop from the former mixed with Spinning or After Party from the latter. If you are a Balance and Composure fan, you'll almost certainly like this song. Record Store Day is tomorrow, by the way, Saturday the 22nd. So if you want to queue up, then that is one to put on your list. Chon released a new song, Sleepy Tea. They just announced their second album, Homie, will be out on June the 16th. If you haven't heard Chon before, they kind of sound like the soundtrack to an old school Nintendo game, but instead of being digital, it's all played on guitars, bass, and drums. It's fantastically technical math rock. They are so good, it doesn't sound real. They're very big with the Arctangent Festival crowd. They played there last year. Absolutely incredible performance. For fans of bands like Crying, if you heard that album last year, or Pliny. They're also doing a US headline tour in June in support of that album. If you are a fan of Chon, then another band, Tricot, released a new song this week. It's called Melon Soda. It's off their upcoming album 3, which will be out on May the 19th on Big Scary Monsters and Top Shelf Records. This is another math rock band, but unlike Chon, the Japanese trio have vocals in the mix as well. Very cool song. Definitely check it out if you are a fan of math rock. Good week for you guys. Gnarwolves released a video for the song Straight Jacket. It's off their upcoming second album, Outsiders, which will be out on May the 5th on Big Scary Monsters. This song sounds like it could be straight out of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 soundtrack. If that sounds like your bag, they're doing a UK and European headline tour in May. Sibling have a new song called Love Sick. It's off their upcoming second EP, Dream You Away, which will be out in July on Close to Home Records. Their debut EP, Miserable Love, came out last year. It was absolutely fantastic. They supported Nervous on their UK headline tour in February. We got a chance to speak to them about this upcoming EP then. They said this is more post-rock influenced. They started life as a post-rock band before they released anything. They swung all the way to emo pop, and now with this EP, they're kind of creeping back towards that post-rock sound. Kind of 80s influence as well. There's a lot of Tears for Fears in this track. The title Dream You Away really fits the sound of the EP as well. The sound really is quite dreamy, quite ambient, as well as being poppy as hell. It really does sound like a post-rock band like Caspian or Explosions in the Sky just decided to write some poppy bangers with loads of hooks in the choruses. Really can't recommend this song and EP enough. Great to see them signed to Close Home Records as well. Great UK label doing great things. Another great UK band, Throwing Stuff, released a video for the song Father's Day. It's off their debut album Fit, Fine and Well, which came out earlier this month on TNS Records. The Manchester hardcore band are playing Manchester Punk Festival today before supporting Clowns on their UK tour. Meatwave have a video for the song Bad Man. It's off their third album, The Incessant, which came out earlier this year. Also on Big Scary Monsters. A lot of shout outs for them this week. They're just doing such great things. Also, Side One Dummy in the US. This album was fantastic, and this song is possibly my favourite song off it. The video is absolutely bonkers. Just so surreal. They're currently in the UK for a headline tour. Definitely get down and check them out if they're playing near you. While She Sleeps released their third album, You Are We Today. This album was self-funded and fan-funded through a Pledge Music campaign. The strength of their fan base also shows through in the amount of dates they've sold out on their headline tour, which kicked off yesterday. And the Winter Passing released their EP, Double Exposure, today. They released a video for the song Significance off it earlier this week. That is out on Big Scary Monsters right now. They're doing a headline UK tour this week with Personal Best supporting. Great lineup. A Manchester Punk Festival kicked off last night. Loads of great bands played. Loads more to come today and tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is the really stacked day with some great bands on tonight. Nervous and Petrol Girls playing today. Strike Anywhere headlining. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're in town for the festival, hello, welcome to our fair city. It's going to be a great weekend. We're filming the whole festival. We're going to have loads of live videos coming from that in the upcoming week, so stay tuned to start a riot. If you enjoyed the video, guys, pop a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already, or tell all your friends if you already have. Guys, that's all for this week. If you're here for Manchester Punk Festival, have a great weekend. If not, enjoy whatever you do. Stay safe, but for now, thank Punk, it's Friday!